This is just after my first seventh night, which was pretty uneventful, really. Maybe good preparation or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I survived, and which is good. The zombies seem to run out of steam around about 1:30 in the morning. Now, the settings I've got on this is I've extended the days so that they are uh, normally a day would be in a 60-minute period. Now it's in a 2-hour period. So you can do all that in the settings for all this anyway. The game itself is relatively good fun. It's interesting, as long as you don't mind zombies. It can be a bit frightening at times. Things come out and scare you, come out of closets and what have you. Um, Dogs, when they come for you, they're not so great because you've got two kinds of dogs: the normal dogs, which still attack you, and the zombie dogs. The differences are that the zombie dogs obviously are zombies and you can't eat the flesh, whereas the normal dogs you can butcher them. It sounds horrible because I'm a dog lover, but you can butcher them, get the meat off them, and cook the meat. All right. Now, obviously I'll just get the old thing going in motion. I've got a very basic base there. After your first days, it tells you to go, and it gives you like a quest. Go and make yourself, go and gather up plant fibres, make yourself an axe, and you pick up stones off the floor, and then and you can pick up wood off the ground as well, because there's like twigs, little twiglet trees growing on the ground, rather than going for the trees and thumping your fists against them like you would in Ark. So you do all that, you make you make a bed, put a bed down so that when you die you're always going to come back to that bed, and all the basics. And then 7 days along I've managed to make myself some boxes, because this is the Alpha 20 experimental version. Managed to make myself a forge, managed to make myself a workbench. I managed to make myself a bike, which is so much handier. I can really get places. If you look at my map, you see I've had a bit of an exploration. I had an exploration earlier on, and you see down there there's this flashing yellow thing. That's an airdrop. See, that's an airdrop. That'll give you some not really great supplies, but I think it's all down to when you are doing all your points, because points mean prizes. This hide that notification. Yeah, so you get this, and you get skill points, and you put all your skill points into various different things. And one of those things is like Lucky Looter. So obviously, the luckier you are, maybe the better loot you will get. Though I must admit, I found that the loot in this version is pretty so far anyway. Some of the loot you can get, like ammunition and guns and stuff like that, you really have to work for. You have to go into bigger buildings and more zombies, and then there's like obviously a puzzle to all these buildings, how you get up them through doors and ladders and walkways, and you have to try and remember, because if you die you've got to try and get back to where you left your rucksack. I've got this set so that I don't lose my taskbar, but I do lose my rucksack, so I've got to go back and get my rucksack, which is a good indicator. Then the rucksack's there where you died, so then you're back to where you where you need to continue from if you want to carry on. It's also a pain if you don't want to go back there and get your rucksack, but now I have things set in my taskbars like weapons, but tools, a lot of the handy things that you probably want to have in your tool. Skinning knife. Now unfortunately I haven't got my metal knife yet, but I've got a bone knife. That is great because you can repair that with bones. Repair kits are useful as soon as you can get them, and first aid kits are useful as soon as you get them. The torch can be useful. This is good for mining resources like iron and coal and stone and stuff like that. Bike, oh my god, it's great to have that bike back. Always have these lockpicks on you because you'll come across safes, especially gun safes and stuff like that. Because you can use a lockpick to open them up rather than try hacking away at them forever and a day. Shovel for digging, yep, you can dig soil, dig clay. You need clay for the furnace, for the forge, for certain things. You can also go out in the desert and dig up sand. You're going to need sand for making cement and concrete and stuff like that. This wrench, very useful for, you need it for taking cars to pieces. You get things out of cars like, in here I'll show you things like engines and batteries and parts for cars. You can use these to build things like generators and vehicles. You've got loads of batteries there and parts that you need to use to build these things. Duct tape is very important in this game. There's the bones I use for repairing the knife with, of course, while I've got a bone knife. And then you get electrical parts and mechanical parts out of cars, wrecks. Go up to the wreck. If it's almost a full car, you can normally sort of like, well, I'll show you in a minute anyway. We'll go out and see what we got. I've managed to get hold of some weapons. I carry a few bits of ammunition on me. See that gun now, because I used it a lot last night, it's in a bit of disrepair now. It's not too bad. It's about about 35% there. But obviously the thing that you want to avoid is be using it to shoot zombies and then it dies on you because it needs repairing, and that's what this repair kit is for. Now some of the weapons in this version, the Alpha 20, are called pipe, like it's a pipe pistol, a pipe rifle. They can be actually repaired by using pipes. You can repair them with pipes. And the thing is, though, when you go out there, you're going to probably come across a lot of pipe. You can get pipes when just by taking a sink to pieces, So it's trying to juggle as well, not to take too much with you, but also you need to have certain things. Now these frame blocks are very handy to have, because you can use them, you put them down and use them as stepping stones or stepping blocks, make staircases or bridges to get from places that are difficult to get to and stuff like that. We go outside now. It's early in the morning, so it should be nice, bright, sunny, shiny day. Yes, there we go. And you can see the streets are thronging with zombies. Not. I try not to. So at the moment, I've got this big water teardrop here at the bottom of the corner. That tells me that I'm thirsty. Now, before I go out, I'd better make sure that I've A, got food, B, got water. I'm finding coffee is quite useful because it gives you more stamina, a burst of stamina, Let's just go back and go to my drinks locker, see if I've got any food. Nothing really worth shouting about. I haven't really been out hunting, but I can have some egg and bacon, which is good. I'll bolster. See the little green line going up at the bottom of the screen. It's just underneath the gun. You see there's a little green line going up, so that's good. Then I can go to get into the water here. Click on A, makes me drink. Click on A again, makes me drink. And the little blue line, which is here underneath these icons, that should creep up because that's me. That shows you how much I've drunk, how not thirsty I am. Every time you drink, you get empty jars, and the empty jars are useful to go and get murky water. In that case, in fact, what I might do is go and get some murky water on this trip. The trouble is you can't drink murky water unless you've got a filter in your hat. When you drink murky water, you make yourself ill. The only way to drink the water that you collect, murky water, is to boil it and it becomes boiled water, you know. So that's healthy then to drink. So that's pretty much basic stuff, you know. So I've got this. You click that and it sorts everything out for you nicely. Click that, it sorts everything out nicely. So that's good. So we're good to go. Yeah. So I've got food, I've got water, I've got ammo. I'm bound to cock up somehow. I was trying to hit these buildings methodically. I can just notice over there is a car in a compound there, and I've been in that compound already. I'm going to jump down here. Not always the best thing to jump down on things because you can injure yourself, break bones and sprains and stuff like that. But I've made that jump a few times, so I know it's fairly safe. Get my bike out, go up to my bike, press E, I'm on my bike. Now in this compound here, I'm pretty sure I've been in, or not as the case may be. Got to be careful just in case there's a dog. There's been a problem with the game because it's in experimental mode. You put your bike down and it bloody disappears. It shoots off somewhere into the distance and you go find it and it's underground. So that's been a bit of a pain. It's been a glitch in the game. Anyway, you go up to a car and you press that. You get your wrench out and just press your left mouse button and keep it pressed. And that takes the car to pieces. There's a box. So you can, any bit of litter and stuff like trash hanging around, you can loot them and see, oh, I've got clay and I've got a cloth. All very handy. Now, there's another box there. Have I looted that yet? So that got me clay. That's good. This is shouldn't need to get worried about this particular body here because it wasn't a live zombie. But you can get a bit gory, nitrate and rotten flesh out of them. Now it's a bit like being cannibalistic, I suppose, in some respects. There is a recipe. See, there's litter, there's garbage, more clay. I'm getting good. So you press E to look into them and press R to load, just upload everything. There are recipes that use rotting flesh, like hobo stew, I think it's called. So that's cool. I tend to you can drag weapons around and make sure. So see, my rifle, my gun there at the moment is in bad repair. It's not going to fire, basically. So if I press, keeping it highlighted, and press A, see the pipe disappeared out of my inventory and repaired it, which is good. And the only disadvantage, it's great to have this little pistol. It's only a 6-shot though, unlike the 9mm normal gun pistol you can get, which is about 13 in the magazine. This one is like a homemade revolver. Right, so looking on the map, there's the map. I was still sort of like not really this is only a little place. It's tiny in comparison to places I've been to, you know, other places that I've just kind of wrecked. But I went on a bow leg there to get an airdrop. Anyway, so you trundle across. You can stop at trees, and you can get your fireman's axe out. And while you're chopping a tree, it uses stamina. You see a little blue bar at the bottom with a trainer in it. That's stamina. But once that goes down, you can't run, you can't fight, you're dead if you've got zombies on you. Pretty much I've been in that compound, been in these houses, been in that house. There's no way of sort of like, until you actually go up to them and go, oh, that's already been looted. You know that you've been in them. You forget, like, you know. I'm not sure if I've been in that. Yeah, I think I've been in that. Not sure if I've been in this caravan yet. I can pick my bike up. Probably better to pick the bike up. Get me wrench out. Go up to this car. This car's got no doors on it, so you can't loot it. All you can do is scrap it. And you see down the right hand side of the screen there that I'm picking up. Oh no! That is pretty disturbing. You know what's even more disturbing? I'm going to... I mean, I'm a dog lover. Yeah, it does bug me a bit, you know, in dogs. Just remember, it's only a computer game. And these are just a load, so many pixels, if that's the term. The representation of a dog. It's not a real dog, it's just... Okay. Maybe I'm making too much of a deal of it. Okie dokie. Got me gun out this time. So, should have seen the kennel. Normally if there's a kennel around, there's a dog. Ha! You'd think, wouldn't you? I get my old wrench out again. See, this car's got no doors on it. If they've got doors on it, there's probably something inside the car that you can loot before you take it to pieces. And you go up to the items and you press E. It's like there's rubbish there. It says E, search mound of garbage. So I press E and it comes up with lead and cloth fragments, which are good. Now you can take all by pressing R, or just press that icon up there. It takes everything and it automatically puts it into your inventory. I can hear some footsteps somewhere. I heard something. So there's a chance there's a zombie around somewhere. This, surprisingly enough, has been quite useful. The door is unlocked. That's cool. There's probably a zombie in here. I'm bursting out of there now. Oh yeah. She's fairly... Just bash her on the head and kill her. She's fine. Fine, because she's dead. You can't like skin the zombies that are walking around. You can only skin whatever's already dead down on the ground. A pair of glasses, I don't want them. Toilets, believe it or not, you get paper out of them. Paper you use for making shotgun shells. But sometimes you also get murky water out of them, which is a bit... rotting flesh, yeah, right, okay, whatever. See, there's a sink here, so if I go and take the sink pieces, you'll see that I get pipe and XP for everything I'm doing. Now you can go a little bit further and see these taps. You can take the taps, but now if I look in my inventory, you'll see I've got like a tap there. Now I'm not exactly sure what it's made of. If I press S, which is scrap, it will scrap it, and it's making it into iron. Okay, fair enough. But sometimes you'll get brass taps, so you can scrap them, and they get turned into brass, which you can then smelt. Now at the moment, I've got no intention of planting any trees. I'm going to drop that tree seed there. And as I go along, I have to start getting cleverer. In deciding what I want to keep in my inventory. So I'm not sure if I've been... See, if things are untouched, then it's pretty much a case of I've not been in this neighbourhood. Old barrels, fuel. It's all very good. You see these things here, these are like a valve, and they're made out of brass. So you want them. The brass is, you use brass to make, to smelt in the forge. Once you smelt in the forge, you can then make them into shell casings, which is one of the main ingredients of making bullets. You know, you're not always going to find bullets. This is another kind of a valve. You get mechanical parts out of it and iron. So, okay, I'm going to maybe go into that, have a look inside that big tank in a minute. I can hear footsteps somewhere, so something's around. Or it might even be my own bloody footsteps. If I go across to this car here, you'll see this is a car with the doors on. And it says a search black sedan. Doesn't look black to me. Because it's been untouched. So if you go press E, you get this little thing, and that, oh, loads of goodies. I don't really need a stone shovel, but press R and they all go into an inventory. Press tab, bring the inventory up. Now there, a lead trophy, so I'm going to press S to change that into lead. You see now it's got, I've got lead already in my inventory, and that's eventually going to be added to that lead that's in my inventory. I haven't paid much attention to the jars yet. I need to find some water. Good. So that's done that. Now the car itself is, it's going to have lots of bits and pieces. Probably maybe get an engine out of it, which is good. It's always good to get engines. You'll get gasoline. You get iron out of it. Mechanical parts, maybe electrical parts. Springs, oil, radiator, that's a good source for brass. It wasn't always polymers, you get polymers here. It wasn't always evident to us, me and my mate Dog, when we've been playing initially, that the radiators, like car radiators, if you scrap them, you get brass out of them. Ta-da! Likewise, if you go into a house and you see one of the old style iron radiators, if you scrap them the same way, if you use this ratchet on them, you get a radiator out of them, which you can then scrap and get brass. Here's another car that's not been touched yet. More brass, mechanical parts and glue. Glue's very useful. So I've got all those, but I'm going to see, I've got brass there and I've got brass candlestick. What I want to do is convert that brass candlestick into brass. So I'll click on that and scrap it. That will now, the 337, be added to that, which means I get back the slot. Now this car, again, good source for bobs that you're going to need. Iron, XP. Bear in mind that every time you're taking one of these to pieces, you're making a noise that could attract a zombie. 2 or 3 or 4. It's fairly safe bet that the house that we're near, I've not been in yet, so there'll be zombies in there. I'm getting all these goodies out of this car. Good. Right, so there is a double garage, an independent double garage, and I've got a cup of coffee, as always, going cold. Now, before the apocalypse, somebody was... Oh, there's a dog. They just come out of nowhere. And I've now got a bear and I'm dead. See what I mean? Dagnammit. Did not hit them coming at all. And that's how this game goes. spawn on my bed. Lucky for me, my bike is in my taskbar. I can go to my ammo box and get... I was terrified with that up. Get some ammo. I'm going to change this around to default for that. So I'm going to get me machine gun out. Press R to reload. Oh, it's got bullets in it. I've got to go back now. Get me body. Get the rucksack anyway. The body's not going to be there anymore. So I'm not going to jump off that side. So the thing is, I'll jump down here. Yep. Thing is, if you look at the top of the screen, you can see there's at the very top. You'll see northwest, west. It's your compass. And as you turn around, it'll show things up, like it's showing a little yellow parachute with a box underneath it. That's an airdrop. It's quite a long way away because it's so small. As I turn around, you can see a bed. That tells me where my bed is. That's my base. That brick wall is a thing called a what's it called? It's a stone that you set down to establish where your base is. What's it called now? What's it called now? Land claim block. That's it. Fair enough. And that cyan coloured rucksack is my backpack from where I just died. Okay, so it's fairly big, so it's not that far away. And it gets bigger the closer you get to it. Thing is, there's going to be a grizzly bear there, and a couple of horrible dogs. And I think the grizzly bear, by the looks of it, was see, you look on the map, you can see where you are in relation to your rucksack. And the grizzly bear, I think, was a zombie grizzly bear, unfortunately. So this is going to be fun, trying to get my bag back. If they might still be there, and if they're not, they're going to be in the area. And they'll still try to come out at me. So it's the other side of this house, I think. And the grizzly bears sometimes do linger around a bit. So where have they all gone? So there's a dead dog. That's one of them. I think there was more than that, wasn't there? I can hear something. I heard something. I get my... See, if you get your knife out and start skinning shit, you're so preoccupied, someone will come and sneak up behind you. Everybody is obviously getting XP out of this. The trouble is, when you die, you also lose a good portion of your currently earned XP. Now, if I go over there now, where's that bloody grizzly bear? And skin this dog. Horrible looking thing. Now for speed, hit E, hit R, everything goes into my inventory. Hit right. Right, so I'm gonna... There's a grizzly bear around here somewhere. Let's go up here. It's very unlikely it's gone inside. You gotta watch out for loose floorboards and stuff. It's a pain in the arse. Getting across these things is a real nuisance at times. So that's odd. Normally when you sort your thing out, it does all kinds of weird shit, but never mind. So I'm going to put that in there to scrap that. And I need to get across this gap. There's something. You keep hearing little bits and snips of something. Why am I whispering? Anyway, I've got to try and get over this gap. So I've got to move that into my taskbar, and it looks like the game has glitched because I can't. That's what's happened. The game's gone and glitched on me, which is a bit annoying. Which means I'm going to have to log off and log back in again. Okay. Well, let's do that in a sec. Let's just do that. I'll be back with you.